I've got this from the WHO, the World Health Organization, A World at Risk. Annual report on global preparedness for health emergencies. Global Preparedness Monitoring Board. Of course, this would have been created during the pandemic that we're going through. Hang on, September 2019. September 2019. That's 3 months before this shit started. Did they know something we didn't know? Of course, we've got the coronavirus there. Have a look at that scary looking thing. The GPMB, Global Preparedness Monitoring Board. I'm going to skip to page 39 of this PDF. Progress indicators by September 2020. That's a year on. That's only, what, 4 months away. The Secretary General of the United Nations, with the Director General of WHO and Under Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, strengthens coordination and identifies clear roles and responsibilities and timely triggers for a coordinated United Nations system-wide response for health emergencies in different countries and different health and humanitarian emergency contexts. Get ready for this, guys. The United Nations, including WHO, conducts at least 2 system-wide training and simulation exercises, including one covering the deliberate release of a lethal respiratory pathogen. I'll repeat that. The United Nations, including WHO, conducts at least 2 system-wide training and simulation exercises, including one covering the deliberate release of a lethal respiratory pathogen. What's going on here? 3 months before the so-called Corona BS pandemic, they're telling us they have 2 training and simulation exercises. So all this garbage that we're seeing now is a training and simulation exercise. WHO develops intermediate triggers to mobilize national, international, and multilateral action early in outbreaks to complement the existing mechanisms for later and more advanced stages of an outbreak under the IHR 2005. The Secretary General of the United Nations convenes a high-level dialogue with health, security, and foreign affairs officials to determine how the world can address the threat of a lethal respiratory pathogen pandemic, as well as managing preparedness for disease outbreaks in complex, insecure contexts. Isn't it amazing, all this? Just 3 months before this so-called pandemic started. Let's just finish off with ultimate objectives. There is no ambiguity or delay in the United Nations system-wide response to global health emergency. There are clear rules, roles, and responsibilities, along with a designated leader, empowered with the authority to coordinate across the system, and experienced in leading a global response through regular simulations or actual events. WHO can rapidly mobilize countries and partners early in an outbreak or health emergency.